Hello fellow UXers, my name is Audrey. I am a UX designer and researcher. In this video, I wanted to talk about all the things that I do that I think help me boost my UX career. As you might not know, I'm often the only UX person on my team, so that's been really nice to be able to find other ways that I can progress on certain skills or create a community of UX people around myself. One of the things that I used to do more often before COVID is attend events. I really liked attending events, not only for the content, but also to be able to connect with peers, like in the audience, but also sometimes connect with the speakers who maybe work for companies that I was interested in working for. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to be able to do when things kind of reopen and we can attend things in person. Another thing that I often do is looking for tutorials online. I often use platforms like YouTube and Medium to look for ways to optimize my design skills or to look for example, the other day I wanted to improve the way I was prototyping, so I looked at a few tutorials like that. So sometimes I don't necessarily have the time or want to do a full class into something, but I found like finding people that I really like and looking for certain tutorials have been really helpful to put more tools into my UX design and research toolbox. Another thing that I find really helpful is to have mentors. And I'm not someone that necessarily would always have a mentor. Sometimes it's only once every couple of months that I will talk to someone. I offer mentorship as well on SuperPeer, and I've heard of a platform called Adaptless if you want to check it out. But I always found it helpful to find people who are a little bit more advanced into their careers and who have similar interests. For example, I'm really interested into UX research. I'm also interested into wellness and healthcare. So often I will try to look for people who have similar interests or worked in these industries and try to get advice from them. Another thing that I'm doing on a regular basis now, and I'm really happy about that, is reading UX books. That was really on my list for 2021. I wanted to be more consistent about that, and the UX design and research book club with Hexagon has been restarted. So we are on track with that. So far it's March. We are finishing our third book. I find that being able to share that with other people, sharing reading with other people, has helped keeping me accountable, but also creating a little bit of a network of UX designers and researchers, and also it really helps processing the information afterwards. One thing that I've started doing very early on was to follow UX designers and researchers on different social media platforms. Whether it's YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, I found it really helpful to be able to be in contact with different trends about UX and different opinions, ideas. Just to be exposed with that content really helped me immerse myself into the UX world. Another thing kind of segues into that was to participate in forums. So there are different UX organizations maybe that are more local to you depending on the country that you might live in. But there are a lot of like online communities that you can join that have Slacks, and so being able to being involved in that, and I know I've talked about it into another videos, maybe you have seen, for me has been really helpful when I had questions about an experiment or if I wanted to know if there were any events coming up. That's been really helpful to connect with these forums. I know that Reddit also has forums actually. Something that my career in psychology has taught me, and I think has been a little bit easier for me coming to the UX field, is to listen to feedback. A little bit of background: when you receive feedback in psychology, it kind of feels really personal because it's about your skills and how you listen, how you interact with someone, so it can feel really tough on the ego. So when it came time to me to receive feedback on my UX work, I found it a little bit easier than when I used to receive feedback in psychology, because I feel like there's a little bit more of a distance with my work. But what I'm trying to get at is that I think listening to feedback, even if at first it seemed like it's not necessarily true or that you don't necessarily agree, is very important. When I started, I was a little bit disheartened because I got a lot of negative feedback on my visual design skills. And when I stopped and think about it and started to look at other people's work, I really noticed that this is something that I needed to work on, and I took that as an opportunity to do more classes, follow more people who had really strong strengths into those areas, and I really benefited a lot from that. I think that's really close to my heart, again, because in psychology it's very common that people have to do continuing education, and it's something that I want to take with me in UX, is to continue doing classes. They don't have to be as intensive as like a university course. At the moment, I'm taking a behavioral design bootcamp, which is over 8 weeks with irrational labs. It's a lot about behavioral economics. I really love it. And that's been really helpful for me to look for different classes or seminars, even if you have a little bit less time, to kind of stay up to date and learn new skills. And that's been really keeping things challenging and motivating. And the last thing I think that's been really helpful in terms of boosting my skills and my career has been to kind of sit down and wonder what skills I wanted to develop. Especially with UX, there's a lot of opportunities around design and research, and within each of these things, there's a lot of different skills that you can look into and really perfect and specialize even if you want to. So for me, like sitting down and kind of wondering, what I want to learn, what do I want to learn right now in a more like formal way, and giving myself goals has been like super helpful. So obviously, I think you have a lot of options there. You don't need to do all of these things. These are things that have helped me a lot throughout my UX career to feel like I was progressing, to meet people, to boost my applications. So I hope this was helpful to you. I left everything in the description below in terms of link that I mentioned in this video. And if you do have other things that you like to share with the community, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to know what you're doing to boost your UX career. And if you're interested into having more content like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you into another video.